Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to install and configure ZeroTier on your OPNSense firewall. By the end of this video, you will have a basic understanding of how ZeroTier works and how to configure it on OPNSense, how ZeroTier compares to other VPN technologies, and when you should or should not use it. And I'll also share some of the pitfalls with you too, so you know what to expect from this technology. As usual, before I show you how to configure ZeroTier, let's learn some theory first. Naturally, before you start playing with the configuration, first you have to install the service itself. And I don't have it on this slide, but there are two types of servers you're going to talk to. ZeroTier Planet servers and ZeroTier Moon servers. Planet servers are responsible to give you the identity, and Moon servers are responsible for routing the traffic, showing one client where to find the other client in the internet, and they also hold access control lists for all of the nodes in ZeroTier network. So when you install the service, this is what happens. Your node, in our case it is OPNSense firewall, will go out and reach to Planet type server, and it will tell him that, hey, I'm new here, can you please give me the identity? And the server will reply, hey, here is your new ID, and here is the list of the moons. Then, when this is all done, you will want to join one of the ZeroTier networks. And when that happens, your node will tell ZeroTier Moon, hello, I want to join network XYZ. Then the Moon server will check if the network is public or private. And if the network is public, your node will be able to join automatically. But if the network is private, admin of that network will have to go in and manually approve your node on that network. And when you join successfully, Moon will reply, hey, you are allowed to be on this network, your IP is XYZ. And when this is done, finally we have a day-to-day operation. Your node will send keep alives every 2 minutes, which are hard-coded, and this is not very optimal. For example, if you are on 4G network, you might lose connectivity time to time. I don't know if ZeroTier's devs have this in plan to allow configuration to change the keep alive, but for now it's hard-coded and you can't change it unless you compile your own agent. And then at each keep alive, ZeroTier Moon will send your node additional routing information or notifications about new machines on the network. Now let's move on to some of the upsides and downsides of ZeroTier. And on my list, I have 3 really big upsides for ZeroTier users. So ZeroTier is good for admins that need a large SD-WAN zero config networks. Hands down, this is the easiest VPN to configure in 2021. You just need to install the package, run one command to join the network, and then just approve that new node on the network. That's pretty much it. You don't have to manage complex configs, choose the encryption types, and so on and so forth. You don't even have to open up any ports because ZeroTier can work behind the NAT. It's also a good replacement for a traditional corporate VPN because it brings less management overhead. On the ZeroTier control panel that you will see just in a minute, you can give every device a description and a name. And whenever you want, you can just disable access. And then whenever you want, you can re-enable access. So for example, if someone left your company, you can just tick one box and disable access on their device or company device to the corporate network, which is very, very easy and straightforward to do. And your staff will not have to be highly technically educated because what they need to do is just log into the web panel and click few tick boxes. It's also a good solution for site-to-site VPN when both of your firewalls are behind the net, because you will reach out to the Moon server and it will automatically ask your firewalls to punch the UDP ports on both sides so they can talk to each other. Double NAT can be an issue though. Now let's talk about the downsides. ZeroTier relies heavily on UPnP for peer-to-peer communications for the devices behind the NAT. You can work around this by installing your own Moon server and routing all or some traffic through it, because whenever peers cannot access each other directly, they will route all traffic through the Moon server. And let me tell you, ZeroTier public Moon servers are just trash for that. I had 162 millisecond ping between two locations that were 50 kilometers apart. And that's because I had to hit the ZeroTier Moon server first, then receive a reply from it on the other end, and then send the traffic through it back again. But once I deployed Moon server on my own infrastructure and opened up the ports, it was working fine. Just keep in mind that that specific Moon server can be your bottleneck if you push too much traffic through it. As I said on previous slide, hard-coded keep alive packet timer is not a good thing as well. Especially when you are on a flaky connection like 4G or Wi-Fi or something like that. And these situations can happen. So having a flag in the runtime or a line in the configuration file that can change that would be very much appreciated. It's also very hard to self-host a Planet type server because there is no documentation how to do it, first. Secondly, you're gonna have to go through the source code because they didn't release packets to host your own Planet server. I mean, ready to go binaries. They don't include Planet type things. So you're gonna have to go through the source code and compile things yourself and then hard code all of your Moon servers too. And then whenever that changes, you're gonna have to recompile your Planet type server binaries again. So this is not very straightforward, nor is it compelling to do. I've seen a lot of interest for this feature from the community, so maybe developers will eventually look at it and release the Planet type binaries sometime in the future. Slack, for example, had to develop their own VPN or SD-WAN or whatever you want to call it, Nebula, just to overcome this limitation of not being able to install Planet type servers on their own infrastructure. And the most disappointing thing on this list for me is that ZeroTier is not very stable on OPNSense and FreeBSD in general. Out of my 5 tested devices, 2 misbehaved heavily and they have periodic packet loss of 25, 50, or even 90%. And what's even worse, self-hosted Moon server didn't solve that issue at all. I think you could play with system tunables and kind of fight this, but I would prefer something to work out of the box and include good code before I need to make any changes that require a reboot of my system. Now, enough of this good versus bad rant. Let's move on to our network diagram and let's dive into the configuration. So in today's video, we have OPNSense at site A and OPNSense at site B. LAN NAT on this site is 10.0.31.0/24 and LAN on site B is 10.0.41.0/24. And I will consider the setup working once test VM from site A with the IP of 10.0.31.5 will be able to reach the VM of 10.0.41.1 on site B. To establish the connection between two firewalls, they will have to go out to ZeroTier servers, and then ZeroTier servers will ask them to establish UDP tunnel, which is running usually on port 9993. Now with this covered, let the fun part begin. So I'll open my Proxmox server at site A, and in fact I cannot ping site B, and if I switch to site B, I cannot ping site A. Alright, first thing is to create a ZeroTier network. So just hit create a network and it will be automatically created. Let's give it a name of YouTube demo. If you plan on having multiple ZeroTier networks, it's a good idea to leave a description over here. This default IP range will work for me just fine, but if you choose a different one, you can choose from here and then just change the mask. We are not interested in any of these options at the moment because this will be a basic setup. If you want to learn more, please refer to ZeroTier official documentation. Now, this is all we have to do in here at the moment. Now, let's move on to our firewalls. This will be a firewall at site A, and this is the firewall at site B. And these firewalls have different themes, so it's easier for you and me to distinguish which site we are working on. So let's go to site A, System, Firmware, and Plugins. Here we want to search for ZeroTier and install it. While it's installing, do the same on the second firewall. Now when it's installed, refresh the page and go to VPN ZeroTier and then settings. The only thing we need to do here is enable the interface, apply settings, then go to networks and just add our new network. You can find the network ID in this yellow box or at the top of your configuration. So just put the network ID in here and then give it a local description. In my case, I'll keep it the same as a network name. Hit save, enable it, and do the same on the other firewall. Now we just need to switch back to ZeroTier Central web panel and authorize our two firewalls. If it's hard for you to understand which one is which, go back to your firewall, VPN, ZeroTier, and Overview. At the top, you will see the address, so just match it to your ZeroTier Central account. This is our site A, and this is our site B. Changes are saved automatically and you don't have to press save button or anything like that. Now what's left to do is just to authorize the access. After a few moments, you'll see a version of your client in the version section, and that's when you can go back to your firewalls and start configuring them. On firewall A, go to Interfaces, Assignments, and create a new interface which starts with ZT. I'll name it YouTube Demo. Now open it up, enable it, prevent from removal, configuration type is static, and give it the IP from managed IP list. In my case, it's 10.243.176.124. So I paste that in here, and our network range is /16. Yes, it is. All right, /16. Don't forget to mark this checkbox, and it will automatically create a gateway for you, so we don't have to do it manually. Click Save and apply changes. Now we just need to allow the traffic on our new network interface. Go to Firewall, Rules, and our new interface. I'll add a wide open rule, but you can filter it down to your specific needs accordingly. Save the changes and apply. Okay, now this is all done on Firewall A. Let's move on to Firewall B and do the same things over here. Now, when everything is done at Firewall B, let's try to ping our VMs. Okay, site A cannot ping, and site B cannot ping too. And this is to be expected because VMs don't have routing information on how to reach the network on the other side. So what we have to do now is add that routing information. Go to Interfaces and Overview. Now expand the interface you're interested in and copy the network address. Go to ZeroTier Central, scroll up, and in the Routes section, add your destination, and then use the IP address of site A. Submit. To save some time, I'll paste in the gateway first, and now I'll copy the address. Submit. Now when the routes have been submitted, go ahead and restart the ZeroTier service. All right, my goodness, it was supposed to be zero config setup, and I had to spend 15 minutes troubleshooting this stuff. It's alright, just sometimes you have to sacrifice virgin code to get ZeroTier working on OPNSense. It's fine. Alright, the tunnel dropped again. Yep, it dropped. Well, we need another Virgin Goat. I'm definitely leaving this in the video so everyone knows what's up with ZeroTier on OPNSense. I believe this happens due to FreeBSD ICMP buffer getting full, but I might be wrong. And I've seen some solutions on the internet that by tinkering with some system tunables, you can get this working, but in my opinion, it should be working by default. Especially when OPNSense team wants to leave this package in the main repository. Or at least, I don't know, leave some notes in the documentation for the admins out there who wants to fix this stuff. If ZeroTier wasn't this unstable, I would have probably switched all of my firewalls to it, but for now, I'll stick to WireGuard. As you can see, tunnel is up and this guide can be stopped here. You've seen all of the ups and downs of this technology, and if you are using this technology on a daily basis, please do let us know in the comments down below what was your experience with it. That's it for this video. Please like, sub and share. If you are interested in helping out our channel directly, there is a PayPal donation link down below. Don't forget that we provide consulting services for the products you've seen in this video or in any of our previous videos. You can reach out to us via email, our Reddit community, or you could simply send me a DM on Reddit. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.